For just 1 minute, pay your full attention to each and every word. Welcome to Super Science University Bhagavad-Gita, which only can fulfill any of your wishes, aka the real Santa. Plus, it is the permanent solution to any of your problems. It answers every possible question. It will give you permanent happiness with your freedom in the end. The highest, most prime, most secret, and the only complete knowledge, which is the source of everything. Please refer to Yatharth Gita by Swami Adgadanand on Spotify or yatharthgita.com, which is the only genuine and complete source of knowledge. Please note, incomplete knowledge is dangerous. Now, is there anything else left for me to say? Ab bacha kya? Oh, ab bacha kya? So, we were talking about ghosts entering a body. The feeling of the body can be taken only from the body, so that is why evil minds are interested in a body. If there is a lustful mind, a sexual mind, and it does not have a body of its own, then sexuality is complete, but there is no body, no senses. Now you can understand its pain. Its pain has become very difficult. The mind is lustful, and there is no solution at all. There is no physical body nearby. It can enter anyone's body and try to satisfy its sexual desires. Not only sexual desires, any kind of desire. Good minds generally do not enter unless they are invited. They do not enter uninvited because there is no desire for a body for them. But they can enter upon invitation. Invitation simply means that there is a time when they can be used, where they can be helpful and can serve. They immediately become available. Bad minds always enter uninvited through the back door of the house. Good minds can enter by being invited. But the entry of good minds has been continuously decreasing because the method of invitation has been lost and the entry of bad minds has been increasing. Why? Because the resolution has become weak and negative for man. Therefore, talking about gods on earth today is a lie. Talking about ghosts is not a lie. Ghosts still exist. Gods have become an illusion. But there were methods of calling the gods, inviting them. The entire Veda is filled with those methods. It has its own secret methods of how to call them, how to connect with them, how to communicate with them, how to establish a relationship with them, how to connect with the consciousness, and of course, there is a lot that has been known only by them. And that is why man has no proof for it. Here, God means deities, remember. Now you will be surprised to know that a 700 years old map of the earth has been found in Beirut. A 700 years old map of the earth in Beirut. That map is such that it cannot be made without an airplane. It can be made only if the earth is seen by flying at the height of an airplane. But 700 years ago, there were no airplanes. That is why scientists have gotten into a lot of trouble after finding that map. A lot of effort was made to prove that the map is not 700 years old, but it has been difficult to prove it. That paper is 700 years old, that ink is 700 years old, that language is 700 years old, the holes made by the termites that have been eaten that paper are also 500 years old, 700. But that map cannot be made without an airplane. So one way is that aeroplanes must have existed 700 years ago, which is not correct. There is possibility that they existed 700,000 years ago, which is a possibility. There is no possibility that they exist 700 years ago because 700 years ago is not a very long gap. it is not possible that aeroplanes existed 700 years ago and bicycles did not exist, because aeroplanes are not created out of the sky. They have to travel. There is a bicycle, a car, train, then an aeroplane is created. It does not just drop out of the sky. So, one way is that aeroplanes existed which did not exist 700 years ago. So, the time period must be 7,000 years or maybe further back. That is the only possibility which we can think. But the other way is that space travelers have come, as a Russian scientist has tried to prove that some travelers from another planet have come and given the map. But it is also not possible that travelers from another planet came 700 years ago. It is possible that they came 7,000 years ago, because 700 years is not a very long thing. It is a matter of the circle of history. We have a definite history of at least 200 years. There is no history before that. Therefore, it is not possible that such a big event happened 700 years ago, that travelers came from space, and there is not a single mention of it, while the books of 700 years ago are completely available. There is a third possibility, that the government might be hiding these phenomena 700 years back. I will give a fourth suggestion which has not been given at all. And my suggestion is that this news of the map is a news given by a mind which was invited in a person, which was spoken by a person from a deity. The earth is round. This was discovered in the West recently. It has not been very long ago, only about 300 years ago. But we have the word geography thousands of years old. So it cannot be said that those who coined the word geography knew that the earth is not round. Otherwise, how would they have coined the word geography? But it seems very difficult for man to know that the earth is round, except that the message has been available from somewhere. There are many things in man's knowledge for which there were no laboratories, for which there was no solution. For example, there is a story about Luke Man, and even now scientists have started doubting whether the story is true. There is a story about Luke Man that he went and asked the plants, "Tell me, for which disease can you be useful?" Plants do not seem to be telling. But the second thing also seems difficult, that the information given by Lookman about millions of plants is so correct that either Lookman was millions of years old and Lookman had more developed pharmacy laboratories than today. Then he would have been able to test which plant is useful for which disease. But Lukeman is not millions of years old, and Lukeman does not have any information about a laboratory. Lukeman is roaming in the jungles with his bag and asking the plants, will the plants be able to tell? I don't think so. I have a different understanding. Plants cannot tell, but good minds can give information about plants. There is a mind working as a mediator who can give information about the plants, that this particular plant will be useful for this purpose. Now, this is a very interesting thing. Like in our country, all the research of Ayurveda is not experimental in a deep way. It is deeply dependent on the information given by the gods, deities. That is why even today any medicine of Ayurveda is proved in the laboratory to be useful for us. But we never had big laboratories in which we could prove it. The possibility that Osho never thought is that now people have lost their power, since now they relate themselves to the body mostly instead of mind or brain. Forget the soul, and no one listens to others except themselves. So people just are interested in their own knowledge. They don't want any extra knowledge. They think they know everything and they want to do everything by them.